I spent the past 2 weeks grinding Minecraft 1.19 PvP, and today I'm going to teach you the most insane strats that I've learned to help you become a god. First up, if you hold your trident, which has 3.5 blocks of reach, and swap to your axe right before hitting somebody, you get the reach of the trident but still do the damage of the axe. You can see an example of this in the clip that's playing. Now I don't want to take credit for this because it was a player named Blump that told me about it, so credit goes to him. This is a pretty insane find and adds a whole new aspect to PvP. Now this is pretty obviously a glitch, so I imagine in the full release it'll be patched, but who knows, they might leave it in to make PvP more interesting. Next up is using your trident to start combos. Now this is pretty hard to do in these PvP servers that only give you one trident, as I imagine in an SMP server you could have as many as you want, but effectively you can use your trident the same way you use a rod in 1.8. Another useful skill that you can transfer from 1.8 is S-tapping. S-tapping is when you alternate between clicking W and S, hitting S right after you hit your opponent and then quickly tapping W again. This means you'll be out of your opponent's reach so they can't hit you, but when you tap W, they'll be back in yours. And this is how I get pretty much all of my combos in this version. Another really effective strat is utilizing movement. The axe does the most damage in this version, so technically you want to be using this as much as possible. And so when you're not using the glitch to hit people with the axe at long range, you should be forcing close range as much as possible, strafing and jumping around your opponent, making them hard to hit you while you can still hit them. I'm sure by now that you know spam clicking is back in this version, and so you'd think that'd be more effective than timing your hits. However, this seems to have been proved wrong, as spam clicking can be really unreliable and cause your hits not to register if you do it too fast. This means that timing your hits is much more effective as your hits register much more over time so you can get better combos. However, there is a strat which I came up with, although I'm not sure how many other people do it without me realizing, is timing your spam hits. This is essentially where you spam click but in timed intervals. It's difficult to explain, so I'll just show you this clip. As you can see, I'm butterfly clicking, but only when you would hit during a timed hit. And now for the final tip. This tip will make you a god at 1.19 PvP if you follow it correctly. All you have to do is ask better players. Every time I log onto one of these PvP servers, IP's at the top by the way, I'll always find 1 or 2 people who are just simply better at the game than me. What I do is I go up to them and I duel them over and over again, and then I ask them what they're doing to be so good. In reality, this is the same for any game. As soon as you can accept that you're not the best player in the game, the sooner that you're going to improve. And these players that are better than me are where I got most of these tips from. So if you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing, leaving a like or a comment, and if you want to play this version but don't know how to, then feel free to send me a DM on Discord. I'll show you how.